Salam alaikum y bendiciones. This is Tata Minango speaking, and it is April 20th. And today I want to be speaking about indigo children. Just my basic thoughts on it, my reflections, my theories, and how I feel about indigo children. More or less what indigo children are, what they represent, and how I feel about it. I will be touching on other subjects in this discussion. As I sit back and puff on my cigar in front of my prendas, my enfumbes, my gungu, my defunto, my empungos, I sit back and I reflect on indigo children. What exactly is an indigo children or an indigo child, in my opinion? In my opinion, an indigo child is somebody that is put on this earth for specific reasons, for positive reasons. An indigo child is somebody that possesses special abilities. Now, there could be indigo children that have yet to realize they possess these spiritual abilities. And of course, there could be indigo children that use these spiritual abilities for negative reasons, to seek negative things. Now, I believe that just because you are an indigo child, you might not ever wake up and realize it. I feel there are a lot of indigo children, but the problem is that they're asleep. Not every indigo child is awake. So, indigo children, in my opinion, there are a lot of different human species, I guess you could call it. You have humans, you have aliens, and then you have what some people have theory of reptilians. What I believe is that not everybody, but there's a big number of people that they truly don't come from Earth. They truly don't come from Earth. They come from another planet. And this is where indigo children come from. We don't all come from the same planet. An example, I feel as some children are what you could say an alien species. Some come from a different planet. Maybe they're not an alien species, but they're just a specific species that come from a different planet. I'm not sure about reptilian creatures and things of that, but I am well conscious of that there are humans, and then there is another alien-like species that, just like a strain and strains have hybrids, come from different planets. Where you understand where I'm going? I feel like depending on which planet the indigo child comes from varies on what spiritual abilities they hold or possess. I feel as if indigo children usually don't understand why they're here, or they just don't feel like they fit into society or into this world. The feeling of never truly feeling like you're at home, the feeling like you're missing home. And that's where you have these past life feelings, these past life phenomenons of, oh, I swear I had a past life. Or that you have deja vu and you can't quite wrap your fingers around or describe where this took place, or where this was at, or was your past life here on this earth, or these undescribable dreams you have that feel so realistic and lifelike. I feel it is the planet you come from trying to remind you of where you're from, or memories that no matter what won't leave you. Of course, if you strictly only believe in science, everything I'm saying right now sounds completely like it's coming out of the mouth of a lunatic. But I believe that indigo children is a very real thing. Now, don't get me wrong. I also believe that there are demons. Example, people who shoot up a school, this and that, and people that do atrocious things, even such as serial killers. I call these real life demons. And they too come from a different planet that has nothing to do with indigo children. Because if you ask me, I don't believe in Adam and Eve. I don't believe that I believe in a lot of science, don't get me wrong. But I do not believe that atoms and all of this randomly combusted and somehow the human was made. I believe that planet Earth, the Earth we live on right now, was explored and searched by other life forms, galaxies light years away, that have the technology and means to make it here, and they repopulated, or they populated in general, making this first, what we think is the first human race here. If you think about it, it could blow your mind how small planet Earth is in the entire solar system. And as the years go by, we keep finding more planets, more discoveries in space. There is no way we're the only living race in space. And if you put your thought to it, there are a lot of people that predict the future, or have unexplainable phenomenons or talents that science can't debunk, but the facts are there. You are telling me that these people that predict the future and predict it so accurately don't have some sort of knowledge? Because think about it. If people came from light years away, they're way more advanced than us. They could have technology to foresee what the future holds here. Not just technology, but also spiritual abilities. Now, I feel that, another theory of mine, a lot of people in this planet Earth get these diseases like cancer, diabetes, all these diseases that you question yourself and you put into the science terms of, you get these certain diseases due to certain eating conditions, lifestyles, but some people just get cancer or tumors randomly, unexplainable. Now, why is this? Because these people originally come from a different planet. Their bodies and brains weren't built to live on Earth and consume and be around the radiation and certain things that humans have placed on this Earth. Because just because other people have came from other planets to populate this Earth system doesn't mean that they stayed around. They could have left and let the race continue populating itself or continue on this society. Or they could have had no control over the way that society was going or the population, or they just didn't want to interfere. For all we know, Earth could be an entertainment, a project. Just as we look at reality TV shows for entertainment, could you imagine if Earth was just one big reality TV show to other planets? It's a good theory. A good theory indeed. We could, for all we know, be one big reality TV show to other life forms on other planets, as they spectate us and see what we could accomplish or how far we go. A lot of scientists and people that are more open-minded think that once they see that we've advanced enough in technology and in society, they will make contact or communication with us. Or once they see that we are close enough to break that barrier and gap to try to communicate with them or reach further distances in our galaxy, in our space, they will communicate and finally contact with us. Like I said, that's just another theory. Now, if you follow African-based religions or any type of religions that cause phenomenons that are unexplainable, such as the African religion I follow, in where certain things you place onto nature's energy, or certain things you do with spirits or energy forces or deities or divine forces, will bring you a reaction of energy seeking the results you want. That is unexplainable. That is not normal. And if you do follow these African religions or a lot of more religions, at the end of the day, they have a lot to do with the galaxy and with space. All these things are connected, because at the end of the day, the Orishas have a lot to do with the galaxy and space, even their patakis. Now, that is a lot to digest and think about. But let's go back to indigo children. So, I feel that indigo children, at one point in time, we need to all unite and use our powers together. Whether the powers have to do with reference of African religion or ancestors, or even chakra healers or kundalini, all those type of special spiritual abilities, we need to all unite as a unit and use them together to bring a massive impact on this earth. And I feel with all the spiritual people with spiritual abilities that there are on this earth, if we all truly united, there wouldn't be enough space on a state that we could all fit. But if we all somehow found a way to unite all the countries, all the spiritual abilities, and do something together, I really do believe we could make a massive impact and change the world. But of course, this would almost be impossible, as the way that the world is very hard to create an event like that or bring all of that together. Because I truly feel we would be able to change the world like that. Regardless, I'm not even counting all the indigo children and people with spiritual abilities that are asleep and not awake. I feel a lot of us need to wake up. A lot of us. And another unfortunate thing is that A lot of indigo children lose faith or lose motivation or ambition to be their true indigo child self and express their spiritual abilities and follow their spiritual paths, because their light gets diminished when they see all these fakes, all these corrupted spiritual wannabe leaders that try to make a business out of everything and just try to suck and leech off people's life force and money. And just all these fakes, including now that we live in a social media era where everyone's always on social media, Instagram, all these things. A lot of these indigo children see these fakes and they get demotivated. Me, myself, personally, in the African religion, there's countless of times that I just get demotivated and I honestly just want to call it quits and say, you know what, like, sometimes I don't even want to help the public or be this person that I am or try to reach out to people, because there are so many fakes in this movement that it makes me not want to be a part of the movement, because the movement is so overflooded, stained, blemished by fakes. The fakes have unfortunately it's an override of fakes compared to the true ones. The fakes are truly taking over the movement. They are less real than there are fakes. The realness in this spiritual movement, not just African-based religions, in the spiritual movement in general, is getting overridden by the fakes. Now, when it personally comes to my African religious beliefs, that African religion movement is getting stepped on by the fakes that are grabbing this religion and doing whatever they want with it. It's truly sickening and saddening. But regardless of that, you need to keep faith and positive and continue focusing on your plan and your movement and your reason for this earth, for this life you have. Because you never know when the people from the planet you are from will come back to rescue you, or to bring you, or to help you, or for whatever reason it is that they might come. Whether or not they don't come, you need to continue your life mission, your life goal, your life plan. Now, another thing that I've realized when it comes to this has a lot to do with spirituality, indigo children, and other planets. I feel that when you take certain psychedelics, the only psychedelic that I believe in is psilocybin mushrooms, or as some people call it, magic mushrooms or shrooms. Psilocybin mushrooms, I feel, at certain points, including if you are an indigo child, when you ingest these magic mushrooms and you are staring at yourself or at another indigo child, or even somebody that's not an indigo child but they come from another planet, you could see which planet or the attributes or the appearance of the original people from their planets. Now, this is an example, and this is a real example of an experience I had with my wife. A lot of people could say, science-wise and, experience with psychedelic-wise, that your trip is based on things you've seen before, like shows, TV shows, or funky things. Now, that comes out in your trip. Now, this is not true at all, because depending on the strain of psilocybin mushrooms you do, or what the things will come about. As example, I've done huatla or huatalas, mushrooms that come from Mexico. And we all know that in Mexico, and these Huatala strains are 100% from Mexico. This is a strain that comes from Mexico, that grows in Mexico. Now, Mexico has a lot. Its background, its foundation is Mayans, Aztecas. And I kid you not, in certain moments of my psychedelic experience with psilocybin mushrooms in this particular strain, I have seen Aztecas, Mayan signatures, scriptures, and things coming out of the ground or on the ground in general. A lot of Mayan Azteca vibes. And what I was now going back to the relation with indigo children and things from other planets. When you're ingesting these shrooms, if you have the special ability, you're able to see the attributes and appearance of someone and what original planet they come from. Because yes, their parents have the appearance of humans and their grandparents and all this, but if you stare at that person, their attributes and appearances from the people of their original planet will start to show. An example, a real example. My wife is definitely an indigo child and comes from one of those indigo planets. And when I was staring at her, she was starting to turn her skin green. Everything on her skin was turning green. She was literally turning into the spitting image of an alien, of a female alien. And the realism of how much of an alien she looked like. There's a difference between having psychedelic visuals and then a concrete reveal of what a person looks like or what planet they come from and what their original people look like. And to be frank, she was a female alien, green skin, no weird alien ears. She looked like a humanoid, like a human, but with green skin and different attributes. Now, people could say, oh, the reason why you looked at that is because you were tripping. You were on a psychedelic trip. You were on a good one. And you were tripping out that she looked like an alien because of the alien stuff you've seen before, the alien things. No. She looked like an alien and her eyes were red, if I could remember correctly. She had no eyebrows, no hair. She was an alien. And this is the weird part. This experience has never happened to me in all my, I don't know how many years I've done psychedelics. As far as mushrooms go, I've done it since I was 16. And this has never happened to me. Because I don't think I've ever met an indigo child that I've done mushrooms with, or psilocybin mushrooms with, except my wife. And the funny thing is that she looked at me, and my true appearance of what the people from my planet, or at least the region of my planet, because we could be from the same planet, indigo childs could be from the same planet, but there's different regions in the planet. Just like there's different races on Earth, there could be a variety of races on indigo planet or one of these other planets. And she was looking at me and she said that all of my body, all of my skin, fur was coming out of it. The best she could describe it as was a Wookiee from Star Wars. You know, like the Wook people, the furry Sasquatch looking people, the forest people. Now, this left me mind blown because I truly believe that this was a reveal of the planets we come from, or the regions of the planets we come from. And her region of that planet is definitely green-skinned people that resemble aliens. And the region of planet that I come from is these hairy Sasquatch looking people. And at the end of the day, as funny as it may sound, that truly feels like my soul animal. Is this hairy Sasquatch thing. And it's not to dumb down, because this race of example, Sasquatch people from a different planet, they could have warlocks, they could have sorcerers, they could be very intelligent people, just as the green skinned people that my girlfriend, my wife, looked as. So that's just a real life experience example and a theory of mine of how psychedelics with the right person could reveal attributes and appearances of their original planet. And this isn't the first time I've heard of things like this. I've heard of other people have told me that they looked at